Hello and welcome to Camera Centre UK's podcast. Still have yet to name it. We will name it one of these days, but at the moment it's Camera Centre UK's podcast. Today we have Adamrossi. He's an incredibly good photographer and has pretty much tried everything over the years. I met him a long time ago and it's actually really nice to catch up with him, talk about photography, talk about creativity in general. Anyway, I'll leave you to it and enjoy the podcast. Introduce yourself, man. What do you do? What are you all about? Creativeness, you know, all that kind of stuff.
What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, essentially.
So, my name's Adamrossi Williams. I'm a photo and video creator from South Wales. And I shoot photo and video.
So how long have you been doing that overall?
It's been years. I started in sixth form in school, which was like a long time ago now. So I'm getting old. But yeah, that's when I started. Kind of like dipped out for a few years. Just did some like regular work, normal people work. And then, yeah, just come back into it. It's like shooting weddings, like travel stuff, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just here we are.
When do you think it kind of like picked up for you? Was it like with your Instagram account or?
Yeah, like the Instagram was always, it was always a big thing. Just for me anyway, just because it kept me posting kind of thing. It was like my little like kind of, you know what I mean? I know it sounds cheesy, but a lot of people are like, oh, why do you care about Instagram and all this so much? And I'm like, it's literally my portfolio at the end of the day. Like if I'm speaking to a client, that's what I send them. So I try to post all my like best work and all stuff like that. Like.
Well, I feel like Instagram has become, you know, it started out as this thing, you know, yeah, let's post photos, and let's do this and all that. But realistically, what it's become now is a place for people to have a portfolio.
No,
it's
exactly.
become very business oriented in that retrospect. Have you noticed much in terms of like the advent of reels affecting kind of what you do?
Yeah, like most of the stuff I post nowadays, even like photos, I just put them in reel format. So I'll just like select a bunch of photos that I take, smash it into a reel. Like the reels do so much better than just the stagnant just posts on itself. So yeah, but you know, people's attention span is like it's non-existent.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when I was in university and we got asked to make a show reel, and there was two parts of it. One, I didn't have enough to be able to show in a show reel. Two, I was lazy and I didn't want to show much in a show reel. But three, I'm also doing research with kind of like the best way to gain interest, even back when I was in university, which was a long time ago. Yeah. You know, it was always going to come, and if you were wise, I guess at the time, you could probably see it coming. But short form content is just where it's at.
It is, mate. It's like, you know, it's like with TikTok, it's just like they've even got auto scroll on TikTok now, so you don't even have to touch it. You can just sit there in bed and just watch the 10-second clips.
Yeah, that's actually mental.
It's quite scary, isn't it?
It is a little bit. It is a little bit.
And you know what's really bad as well? If I see a video come up on like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, and I see that it's quite long, I just skip immediately. I don't know that that's my ADHD though, or
it could be your ADHD. I don't know. Well, I feel like being ADHD has become, or like, you know, everyone kind of thinks they're ADHD these days. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, you know, I'm ADHD, but like most cases they're not diagnosed.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on that kind of spectrum, to be fair, because I do believe I've got ADHD because I get distracted by the wind
in there.
But the other side of it is like, I think society and the way social media work at the moment has been kind of pushing everyone towards this very short attention span.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It'd be like, because obviously this has only been around for the past, like mobile phones and iPhones have only been around for like the past 10, 11 years, like the way they are now. So it'd be interesting to see what it's going to be like in like 20, 30 years, man. It's just going to be...
I was just looking at the camera.
It's going to be scary. Yeah, 20, 30 years is going to be weird. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting to see how it expands and how it opens up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just going to be a real and then of itself. It starts talking. It's just like, oh, hi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey there.
Didn't see that.
Just leave it out. That's mental, though, isn't it? AI.
Oh, mate, it's crazy.
Jeez, have you used generative fill on anything?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like, I just, like, you take some photos and just be like, oh, select, add a cat, or just stupid stuff, really. Nothing of any...
You should do it. You should do it on your actual gig photos and stuff like that. Just add a cat. Just a flying cat. I want a cat with wings.
Insert a plane.
Insert a plane. So we've known each other for quite a long time.
Yeah,
we've worked in and out with like separate companies and all of this. And it's been a lot of fun. But recently, what you've been doing is a lot of like gig photography, and it's you are really good at it.
Thank you, bro.
I started doing gig photography. That's how I started doing like creative kind of like things like professionally anyway. But your stuff is
Thank you, mate. I do appreciate it.
And you've been going with?
So I've been Europe. Well, this year alone, I've been Europe, Australia. I've got to America now in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's been like my busiest year in regards to like music photography, like ever, to be fair. So it's super grateful for it. But yeah, it's weird being away quite a lot. But yeah, obviously everything, whatever you do, has got the ups and downs and the yin and the yang of everything. You know what I mean? You can't have one thing without the other. So it's so whilst being away and like touring and seeing all these incredible places I never thought I'd see, like especially just so much in 1 year. Yeah, it's been incredible. Like it's been very good. So, yeah,
very well.
And I think also the love of like music as well for me, because obviously I've been in bands since I was like young.
Yeah.
So like the music and then obviously bringing photography and music together for me is just like, oh mate, it's dream come true, to be fair.
I mean, it's perfect, and of course these are bands that you actively
of
as
course.
well. So like, is it one of your dreams to have perhaps do bring your band on to the actual thing with them?
To like I don't think that would ever happen, but like to play like some of the stages that I shoot and stuff like that would be like incredible. But like even like when I'm shooting in the front and the band are playing, I'm giving it beans, mate. I love it. I love it so much.
There is nothing like being down in the gutter, the gutter, when gigs are happening, and like I do enjoy gigs, and like last year we did In It Together, which was a lot of fun. And just being in front of this, just like so many, just like amazing acts, like it was crazy to be in that position, because nobody behind us is actually getting this view of them.
And they're all cramped up anyway.
You got all
the space.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't have enough time to be like cramped up. I just don't.
Not at this age. Not
at this age. I mean, kudos to them. That's a lot of effort that you're going through, but like. I do really like doing event photography and videography, because you get to experience a different part of what everyone else is.
Of course, like, and it's also great as well, because you're literally in the middle, like the band's there, the fans are here, especially like I feel like the Sleep Talking fans, they're so they love the band so much, mate. It's unbelievable. Like I've never shot like so many gigs where you can feel the energy and the love for the band, you know what I mean? And being in that pit and like in between, you can literally feel like the love and like the energy the fans are giving out. It's like, it's special, like it gets emotional sometimes, so
But I agree with you, because I think there's something about the energy that you get off of the crowd.
Absolutely.
Especially because it's heavy metal, isn't it?
Yeah. It is heavy metal, but it's so many subgenres as well. Like we could go on about subgenres and all this kind of stuff, but it's metal, it's like R&B, it's like pop, it's like, so there's like a lot of like contrast in the music, which is what I love as well. It's good. It's a good time.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's important to have. Like,
yeah,
100%. Yeah. So, what do you reckon was your kind of greatest moment when it came to doing gig photography? Then? What's your favorite photo? Is it one of the 80 that you've sent me?
Yeah, honestly, I've just got Dropbox links of like photos upon photos upon photos. There's so many. Like, I honestly don't think I could choose a photo. Like, I honestly don't.
No. It's like that with gig photography, though.
Yeah, there's so many that like don't even get used as well. Do you know what I mean?
Man, it's crazy, because like bands and everything can be so specific with what they want.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's just so cool, isn't it? But then the thing I love about gig photography and the art form in and of itself is that you just get this sort of like you can't set it up.
No,
you're never gonna be perfect.
It's quite a lot like weddings. Like we've shot weddings together many a times, and like the first kiss. Like if you're not there, you're not there.
Yeah.
If you're not there when like something particular is taking place, then you just don't get it. You've got to just, you got to keep wits about. Yeah, you're constantly on it. Like even though it's not a long period of time, it's only like usually like 45 minutes to like an hour and a half kind of. Yeah. But even then, you're bouncing all over the place, just trying to get like different angles and different spots, and
That's a sick photo.
Yeah, there's he loves a leg kick.
He loves a leg
He
kick.
loves it.
So what are you shooting on at the moment then?
So I'm shooting on, I got a Sony A7R3.
R3. That camera is redonkulous.
Oh, mate, it's like, I bought it like a couple of years ago now, and yeah, it served me so well. That with the 35 Sigma 35 Art 1.4, like
that's a staple, really. I think when it came to because it was part of, again, this is not, can't really say new generation of lenses because it's been a staple for so long, like absolutely years. But like back in the day when it came to film photography, that it was like not a camera, not you know, the lenses were good, but they were fantastic. And then the art lenses came on, and you know, they just completely and utterly owned that portion of the market, really.
Mate, I just remember used to having like I think it was a 24-70 f4, and I was like, oh, with the Sony A7R3, I was like, oh, this is incredible. And I bought 35mm 1.4, and I was like, wow, this is what it's like.
That's a 35.4, and I'm guessing you'd consider yourself a prime shooter rather than a zoom shooter.
So I've got a 35mm. That's like the main one I keep on the camera, to be fair, especially when shooting portraits and all that kind of stuff, especially with the live stuff, just because the f-stop's so low, and it just, you know, you need the f-stop low, it's so dark. But I also got 70 to 200, 2.8,
yeah,
just a beast as well.
That's that is another staple lens. Is it Mark 1 or Mark 2?
I think it's Mark 1.
Yeah. That's still
incredible, mate. Like, you, obviously the Sony camera with the Sony lens together, it's just incredible. It was a good time.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just so freaking awesome shots, man. So you also do the videography as well. Because I've seen a few pages on there. So what's your setup for doing that side of stuff?
It's still like, so we got an A7R3 and also got an A7 IV.
Okay.
So, but most of this stuff, like all my gig stuff recently has just been sort on the A7R3. So even like, it's just, like, that's why it's so good. It's just, you've got the manual, which I shoot photos on, and then you just flick to one, like, you know, the pre-save settings. So that's just got like 4K, and then 2 is just slow motion. So
most of the stuff you do is handheld then? Yeah. Use a gimbal much with it?
Do use a gimbal, but like that's for mainly like at the back of the crowd, kind of like panning shots and stuff like that. But I used to love the gimbal a lot, but I've just grown to love the natural movement of. Yeah,
I'm a little bit of a sucker for handheld movement, to be honest with you. Especially when it comes to the FX6, because it just feels so good in the hand.
It's so much bigger as well. It feels a bit more stable. Do you get what I mean?
Have you used one there, have you?
But I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna make out.
Don't. I don't know what I'd do without one, actually, to be honest with you. So what's next for you when it comes to this? You said you're on a tour in America.
So America, I think with the gig stuff, it's just trying to find ways to just keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Because obviously, it's the same production every night, it's the same songs most nights, same outfits, same backdrops, same lighting, all of this kind of stuff. So it's just trying to find ways to keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. And I think that's kind of something I think is important when it comes to creatives in general, is having that kind of outlet that's always going to be changing, and something like that. I think that's important for a lot of people. For me, definitely, because I always kind of like to keep what I'm doing different and and interesting. And it's hard to find that when you're producing the same stuff. In a weekend,
and it's hard to improve that as well.
No, exactly. I think when it came to certain things, and I think when it came to weddings for me particularly, I think there was just a certain point where I was just like, I'm pretty good at this. Like, I would never say I'm the best, but like I was pretty good at it. And I just got to the point where like the love for it was going, and COVID happened and everything like that. And I think it just came to the point where I was just like, I need a change in this. Yes. At the time, things were happening, and it was just, I needed to spend more time with family and all of this, and it just ended up coming at the perfect time in order to be like,
this is it.
I've actually got a chance here to not, and it was, it just ended up falling into place at the time, to be fair. But it's, you know, it's one of those things. I think it's a journey, and you know, before we started the actual podcast itself, we were talking about like everything kind of back and forth.
Oh, 100% like that, 100%.
And you know, it's gonna be interesting seeing things going forward. To be fair, and obviously with you as well, because it's like what's been crazy for me, from my aspect of like actually getting you on here, is because, you know, when we first started working together, you were doing landscapes, you're doing all of this, and now you've kind of like heavy set into doing gig stuff.
Yeah,
it's really awesome. I love gig stuff. It's really cool.
Like I said, like mixing like music and photography and videography together, it's just
it's sick. And then of course, because we've mentioned it kind of in this already, is that you actually have a band as well, which I do that Glass Hearts. Sorry, how that Glass Hearts.
The Somerset accent.
Yeah, no, it is. It comes out every now and then. I like to speak proper, and it's quite hard to get out of it once it's started. Yeah, no, here we go. But you do all of your own music videos. Well,
yes.
I mean, when it comes to filming you, of course, somebody else is filming you.
So my mate Nathan, he's recently jumped on the photography and videography hype as well. So he shoots my bits, but like obviously we're an independent band at the end of the day, so it's you know, we need to keep costs low, otherwise it's just coming out of our pocket. So you know, I'm a photographer. We're all creatives at the end of the day, so we try to do it ourselves. Obviously, I'd love to like just pay the money and get someone in to do it, but you know, money's tight.
Yeah, money is one of those things that is just generally sure fun, but it's also a great way for you to
Oh mate, yeah, of course. This is like, it's my music at the end of the day, and like to be able to like do the videos and stuff like that as well. Like we do enjoy doing it. It's just sometimes it's more hard work than the more you let on. Like it's just like, oh, I shouldn't have started doing it.
But like I have watched a number of your music videos, and they are really awesome. Like, really interested. So like I feel like, yeah, you know, because you've done all aspects of it, but also because you understand the music to the core message of the music.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Really find the core message that you're trying to get out of the music.
What advice would I give to you?
What advice would you give to me?
To you?
Yeah, do it.
Mate, you're killing it. You don't need any advice.
Thanks, man. What advice would you give to people that want to get into a creative industry and, you know, do gig photography, do anything creative? Because, of course, with you and your perspective, you kind of have such a diverse kind of range to what you do.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's important as well, is just, I could sit here and be like, oh, you know, you need to be artistic and all that. But I think the main thing is just consistency. Just do it at the end of the day. Like, so many people I know have so many great ideas and they just don't execute them. You know what I mean? And then you can't get anywhere without doing anything. I know it sounds silly maybe, but just do it. Even if you fail, like that's why we're going back to school now. But school was never really good for me because I'm more of the person who like try something, and then if I fail, I'll learn from that mistake, and then you move forward. You get what I mean? But school was always like, oh, you're not allowed to make mistakes. You need to get it right, kind of thing. But life's not like that at all. But life's not like that. You know, if you're a creative, many creatives are like it. I feel like you need to make mistakes to learn from the mistakes to then go forward. So all I can say is just do it. Just pick up a camera, even if it's your phone camera. Like most phone cameras are better than the cameras we had back in the day.
The cameras we had back in the day. I'm actually in a recent podcast with, did you hear Dan Marsh? Anyway, so the recent podcast I did with Dan, I actually showed off the first thing I produced. It's awful. So bad. I won't show it off again in this one, but no, it's so bad, but it's one of those, what you're saying that I think rings quite true. It is like, there are plenty of ways to put it. It's one of the best metaphors or sayings that I've ever heard when it comes to relating to what you've said. Is the richest place in the world is the graveyard, because so many ideas, so many dreams, so many businesses fall flat in the graveyard, basically.
Think about many ideas that people have had and they just, you know,
that they've never done. I think it's one of those things that, in short, YOLO, but in the other side is, you know, you've got a chance to do something, just do it.
Absolutely, mate.
I think it's one of those things, because you can go through life and not do the thing you love, or you not do something in which gives you ultimate joy, but it doesn't even have to be a job. If you want to do something creative, I think just do it. Just get down to it. I think from my experience, from people that I've even worked with at the time whilst I was trying to start doing something like getting into doing videography as a creator full time, I think one thing I think that I've learned is that a lot of people have been like held back by not necessarily having a lot of ambition, but being like, oh, that's a bit dangerous, or oh, you're going to annoy this person, or I think at the end of the day, I think the greatest thing that I've learned over everything that I've been through in a creative environment, but also just like job wise, I think striving for excellence, you can do that. Striving for perfection, you can do that. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be excellent. But the biggest thing you need to know is that you're always going to be better than you were the day before.
Absolutely. And if you didn't start, then you won't get to that point where you're going to be better than when you were yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So see, people like going to the gym, for one example, like you're never going to get strong unless you start.
Yeah.
The only bad gym days are the days you don't go. It's not why we're all about the gym now, but
yeah, like let's face it, like both of us are like the polar opposites to kind of like what a gym bro is. I mean, you're like scrawny, and I am a massive human being. No offense. Also, no offense to me as well. Self-deprecating humor is the best kind of humor. But no, it's one of those. I think, and even talking on that kind of thing. I mean, people like to try and flex certain muscles, in a sense. Gym pros like to do it. But like, what I like to do, and I think I try to do, I mean, I'm not perfect, is flex the muscle in my head. So I like to, read, I like to learn certain things, and, and all of this. And I think flexing that creative bone, it sounded better in my head. It's always important. I think I might take a little bit of that out, to be honest with you. But no, it's all about flexing or exercising the part of you that you see with the greatest kind of, what you want to do, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. And you just...
Creativity, I think, is one of those things people can get better at, because everyone starts out. I did.
We all did.
What was your first?
What, my first photo or my first camera?
I'll tell you what was your first video?
Oh.
Do you have access to it? Like, is it still live? Because I think one thing people do is that they get delete.
Oh, no, I've definitely still got mine.
It's definitely still going.
I remember just having the DJI Osmo. Remember the little one?
Yeah.
The handheld's got the little camera on top. I think it was just on all his days, just like walking around, just everything in slow motion. Everything looks cool in slow motion.
I mean, actively, or like it does, but
now it
equally. Now it doesn't. I think it was a phase as well. I think everyone goes through a slow motion phase. Yeah. I know that with my experience of weddings, I went through a stage of like, oh, slow motion, so pretty. Look at everything flying. Yeah. But the other side is like, I found myself not using slow motion that much.
You tend to like get out of it, I suppose.
You do. It's a phase. It's like an emo phase. Honestly,
What was your first video?
I'm gonna show it.
Get it up.
Am I going to show it to like everybody that comes here now?
Have you showed it before?
I literally showed it in the last podcast. So,
round 2.
I might have watched Ahsoka today, because this is going to get released on Sunday. So Ahsoka, are you into sci-fi at all?
Is that you?
That is me.
Wow, handsome and young you are.
I was never handsome and actually young at some point, but it's so bad. I don't have access to this as well. But if you check the actual profile, look at that. I have photoshopped my face onto Hulk. I tell you what, this one's a little bit different. There's an actual story behind this. So did you go through college?
Yeah.
Doing photography or?
Yeah.
Okay. So my last project, I had done nothing in order to actually get a grade doing this, and I ended up just doing my AS level, not my A level. But I put this together in a night, and I can't play the music, but this is a stop motion.
Oh, wow.
Let's just have to turn the music off. Done to Bonkers by Dizzy Rascal. And I thought I was being edgy, but I literally just stuck the camera on Drive and just threw it all into Movie Maker, and this became a thing. I haven't shown this yet, so this is going to be another topic.
Wow.
But yeah, that's...
Did you pass?
Somehow. I think she just gave a pity grade, to be honest with you. I think
He's tried. He's tried.
Well, he's tried. He spent one night doing the entire project.
We've all been there, mate. We've all been there.
But I think with that, I think coming back to kind of what you were talking about, I think the greatest drive when it comes to what I do or what a lot of people do is when they get given constrictions as to like, you need to complete this.
Yeah. Pressure, time.
Pressure, time and all of that. And yes, I was lazy like when it came to my AS level photography. I think most people find college a bit more tedious and bordering. But the other thing is like, you know, it takes the love out of certain aspects of it when you've got too many conflicts. Sometimes you need to let it seep just a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms of having a little bit more creative freedom, or just like the ability to go somewhere with stuff.
Absolutely. And it's like a lot of it, like that's why I love shooting the sleep talk and stuff, is because like, you know, I've been obviously told some like restrictions and stuff like that, but more or less they've just been said, like, we like what you do, just you do your thing, we trust you. And I think that more than anything is like, you're just allowed the creative freedom to go and do what you think is cool, and people having trust in you doing you is kind of like, it's a good time. I think, we are artists at the end of the day, so, you know, imagine like hiring Picasso and then being like, just paint that wall, and not being like, you do you, fella, because that's when his best work is going to come out. You know, you're restricting people in this, that's all. Being able to just do what you do is creative freedom is good. It's the one, like,
massively. But it's nice to see you again, man. 100%. It's been a good
always a
little
pleasure
chat today. And yeah, awesome. So that was the podcast with Adamrossi. It was really nice meeting him again and just talk about creativity and everything in general. If you like the podcast, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification button to make sure you stay tuned in, and have a good day.